And we are back with another episode of Diamond Deck Discussions Unfiltered. I'm Coach Jace, always with me, Coach Rob. And look, boys are a little cold today. All right, it is Saturday, December 21st. It is currently 54 degrees outside, and the temperature is only going to get lower. Here in South Louisiana, we don't do cold very well. However, the one thing of cold that we do well is cold beer. And the reason why the boys are a little cold, look, the boys went out today, played a little round of golf. Carter Plantation, gorgeous place to play. My favorite course down here in the local area, within an hour drive. It was 39 at tee-off.
Yeah.
All you northern people, we know 39's nothing to y'all. We got it. We've reached into Germany. Look, we got some stats back. We're going to post them here in a week's time. We've gotten to Germany. We know it gets a lot colder than 39 degrees there. We got it.
Well, so here's the thing, right? So a lot of the people up north, they have to put their clubs in a storage facility
right
during this time. We can still go play.
Yeah, we can still play. The cold is different, all right? And here's the best way I explain it. Below 50 here, I'm pretty miserable. All right, below 50.
40, I shouldn't go play golf.
Yeah. I went to Wisconsin where it was 1 degree and snowing one year, and I was in a sweatshirt and sweatpants.
Oh, dude, I went to
1 degree here in South Louisiana. I'm not walking outside.
So I went to Fallon, Nevada in December.
Yeah.
And you think, desert, fucking, it's hot as shit. Mm-hmm. Hell no. It was 30 degrees when we woke up and got up to 60. The low was like 0, and the high was 70. It was fucking ridiculous. And I worked in that shit. That was when I was in the Navy.
Right.
That was working in that. Speaking of working, here we go. So, go ahead and take over, bud. I look.
Yeah. No,
I've been drinking all day. I'm not. I'll be honest. The effort I've put forth in this episode is it's not ideal.
I mean, honestly, we just kind of like said on a golf course, hey, since we're hanging out together, like, let's go record.
Oh, pretty much.
Tonight, we're going to get together. I'm having you over at the house.
We are. You know who we need to invite? Which I don't think you did, but we should have called Brooke. We should have. I miss her.
We got to get her back on here.
We got to get her back on here, but we also just got to fucking hang out with her. She's a shit. Love Brooke to death. Shut up, Brooke. Brooke, if you're listening right now, if you're watching right now, love you.
Her old lady is a little sick right now, so just take care of her.
So you did call her.
I talked to her.
Okay. Damn it.
Yeah, but we got to get Brooke back on here.
We're gonna get
her on here for an episode 2.
Yeah, of us and Brooke.
Yeah.
With the cameras now that we have the cameras.
She also wants to bring her dad on because, we talked about how parents can influence.
I just bought another tripod.
What kids want to do with sports.
We need to get one more camera so where we can do 5. But we also need to figure that one out.
We'll get her and her dad on here one of these points. But, Brooke, man. All right, Coach, aside from that, we got to get to some baseball. We got some college football on right now. Clemson and Texas playing. SMU got the brakes beat out of them today by Notre Dame. We're going to hopefully watch Tennessee beat the brakes off Ohio State tonight.
Hopefully so.
Hopefully at the house. We're going to have you and the fiance over, me and my fiance. We're going to have my aunt, my uncle, my uncle's a big Tennessee fan.
And I'm a big Tennessee baseball fan.
Yeah, a big Tennessee baseball fan. So, we're gonna have a good little time. We're gonna get some pizza. We're gonna drink some more beer. It's gonna be a great night.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's gonna be phenomenal. I got 4 heaters outside. We just filled up the tanks on the way over here.
And again, it's only 40 degrees. So
that's cold in South. It's a different cold down here.
It's a different cold.
It's
cold and wet.
1 degree in Wisconsin when it was snowing. I was in sweatpants and a sweatshirt.
And felt fine.
It is 39 degrees here in South Louisiana. I have thermal socks on still after playing golf. I have thermal pants on. I had regular pants on. I have this long sleeve. It's also a thermal.
I got my long johns on for sure.
Yeah, I had a shirt on and I had a beanie. It is a different cold here in South Louisiana. All right, my people up north, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching Diamond Deck Discussions Unfiltered.
You're looking at the wrong camera again. It's not even.
I didn't know you switched.
Yeah, absolutely.
My people up north, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching Diamond Deck Discussions Unfiltered. It's a different cold. Come on down. Whenever you do come down, come join us. We'll buy you a beer. You can buy us a beer, whichever way it is. But anyway, we got some stuff to talk about. We have a block trade, Coach. Block trade.
I didn't necessarily understand this one. I figured Nolan wants to leave. So Nolan Arenado.
I can explain it to you when we get. We're not going to that segment yet.
You said we got a block trade.
Yeah, I know. I got a couple things to talk about. We got a block trade, and then the Astros then turned to sign one of the big name first baseman free agents out there that we really haven't heard much on. This kind of came through overnight. Block trade next day signing. We got the Yankees still being the Yankees, being the bullies. Just like we talked about the Dodgers, you got the money, you got the name, you got the pinstripes, you got the aura of, hey, whenever you put a Yankees jersey on, like that means something, you know. And you got the A's, Coach, the ABCs, the Athletic Baseball Club. I don't really know what they want to be called. Sacramento Athletics Team. Who knows what the hell they want to be called?
The ABC?
The ABC, Athletics Baseball Club. Still making moves. That payroll has increased to $105 million now. We'll get to who they signed here in a few minutes. But in the cold weather themselves, the Philadelphia Phillies go out, make a move. They roll the dice on a Max Kepler to a 1-year, $10 million deal. Outfielder. Coach, how we feel about it?
I don't like it. There's a lot of other big names that they could have signed. I didn't realize Max Kepler was even a fucking free agent. They got a bunch of guys. Yes, you have to replace. I say this. You have to revamp your outfield. Schwarber's, he's a DH
only
for the most part. You talked about Castellanos being Texas about to score again, and Texas scores. Woo! Okay, so but you talked about Castellanos being on the trade block, right? So you need guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many other guys that you can go sign, especially being a Phillies like fanatic almost. Yes, I'm a Red Sox fan. But I would love to go to a Phillies playoff game, even though it cost me $1,500 fucking bucks, just to go to the game.
It ain't cheap.
Harrison Bader's still out there. Hampson's still out there. Kike's still out there. Santander's still there. Santander, whatever the fuck it is. Tio's still out there. Jesse Winker's still out there. Verdugo's still out there. Profar's still out there. Like, you're looking at all these guys that are so much better than Kepler. And Kepler goes ahead and signs what? What did he sign for?
1 and 10.
$10 million. Is he worth that?
What Max Kepler are you going to get? Okay, this is a guy that has been extremely up and down the last 4 years. Okay, 2020, especially when it comes to home run numbers. 2021, he hit 19. 2022, he hits 9. 2023, he hits 24. This past year, 8. What Max Kepler are you going to get? I mean, this is a guy that is a career 162 game average. He's a 3.1 WAR player, which means if he played all 162, I think we explained this last time, but I'll explain it again. If he plays all 162, he's essentially worth 3 more wins. If he doesn't play all 162, you're gonna essentially be 3 less wins. Is what this means.
So he'll be 32 years old this season.
Yep, he's gonna be 32 coming in the year. This is a lefty bat, lefty throwing guy. You know, it's just
is he starting?
I think you sign him to start. I mean, he's got a $10 million deal. I don't think Rojas is the guy that you're relying on. You got Marsh out in right field. You got Rojas in center. Marsh is in center or left. Casty's in right now. Casty's been a big trade name out there. His $20 million contract, they've looked to trade that already. So could that be why?
Well, so do you trade him?
him?
Do you trade him to put what's his? God, I just said his fucking name too. Schwarber. Do you trade him to put Schwarber in right field?
No, you're not putting Schwarber back now.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. No.
But from what the Phillies look like they're doing,
yeah, it's a questionable move from the Phillies. If you're a Philly fan, you're not jumping out your seat for this. I mean, this is not the guy that you say we put $10 million here.
This is kind
Why
of
didn't we go give fucking Jeff Hoffman 2 years and 20 and bring him back? Well, because he's been an absolute stud for me.
I don't know.
This is where you're putting $10 million. Like you said, you got Bader, you got Hampson, you got Kike, you got Winker, you got Verdugo, you got Profar. You got all these guys still out there. Max Kepler was the guy. This is, look, and it's not a takeaway from Kep. I hate talk shows and podcasts or whatever that say, oh, he's not a great player. He's not this. He's not that.
He's not worth the money they pay.
There's a less than 1% chance of you making it to the MLB. So this is not to diminish what Kepler's done. He's made it. He's had a great career. He's made millions upon millions of dollars, which you and me would obviously both die for, to be able to play in MLB, right? This is what millions and millions and millions of kids dream for. So I don't ever want to say like he's not worth it, but if I'm Dave Dombrowski, I'm not giving him $10 million. I'm putting that towards something else. I'm fine with my outfield being Casty, Marsh, and Rojas. That's what you went with all last year. Why are you going to give it to this guy?
Well,
And yeah, you might be banking on an upside. And I saw something that was like, his 8 home runs last year, if he played at Philly for 81 games, would be 12. And the year before was, let me pull this back up. The year before he hit 24 homers, and if he was playing in Philly, would have been 28 homers. Okay, great. You're banking on 4 extra homers a year. I'm not.
But I mean, like,
from a guy that's getting older as well, he had arguably his worst year last year where he was a 1 WAR player where besides his, we're not even going to count that as his rookie year because he only played 3 games. He was a 1 WAR in the COVID-shortened 2020 season. Aside from that has been, let's start in 2016. Here we go. 2016 to now, 2-4, 1-9, 3-5, 4 even, 1 as we just said in 2020, 2.1, 2.1, 2.9, and last year he was a 1 WAR player. I mean, this is a guy that's so up and down. Yeah, you're banking on the upside. He's a 237 career average. His last couple years, he hit 227 in 22, 260 in 23, which is where he also hit 24 homers. Last year, he hit 253 with only 8 homers. Look, if he can go out there and he could play left field, or even if you want to put Marsh in center, play him in left, he could play left field and give you the same 253 but hit 20 homers, solid pickup. Great $10 million deal. But this is a guy that's been up and down the last 4 years. You still need help at the back end of your pen. We got the board right here. Tanner Scott, Hoffman, Estevez. I mean,
Travin's the only reliever that's signed.
Dude, I just think the only notable that we have on here that's signed, yes. I just think you could have put $10 million somewhere else. I don't think this is the guy to do it. But look, again, you're banking on upside. You're Philly. You're a big market. You can afford 1 player for $10 million. I got that. It is what it is. Again, if he hits 250, 260 with 20, 25 homers like he has the capability of doing. I mean, in 2019, he had 36 homers. Like, he's got the capability to do this. If he does it, you're going to get praised. But if he hits 250 with 8 homers, you're going to get beat down.
Yeah,
for the signing.
And the thing with the Phillies is, like, they make the playoffs every year. They're in competition for the division every single year between them and the Braves. And this year it's just looking like, okay, we're kind of giving up. Like, the Mets are now in competition for this division as a whole. And if the Phillies have 98 wins like they had last year, I see the Mets at 97.
Yep.
96, 97. But that's the thing. The Phillies have to be able to compete. And as of right now, with Castellanos and Bohm on the block, I don't see that. I see the Mets winning this division.
And it's tough because you have Casty in right field already.
Yeah.
You can't put him in left.
Yep.
Kep has been a career right fielder.
Correct.
You're not putting him in left.
So you got to trade Castellanos.
That's what it says to me.
You have to.
And we've seen throughout this offseason,
Who do you trade him for?
Alec Bohm and Nick Castellanos has been on the trade block.
Yep.
All offseason. Cassie was on the trade block all last offseason and all this year. So, man, I don't know. I don't know where Philly goes here. I think you have too many outfielders now. Because, I mean, he grades as a plus defender in the outfield. But he grades as a plus defender in right field.
Yep.
Which is where Casty plays. You don't play Schwarber in left field because he's such a terrible defender. You're not putting Casty in left field because he's not the best defender. So
Casty has a little bit of an arm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that he does, but
I don't know about Kepler. I'm not sure.
This is, I don't know. This is something that's just, if you're a Philly fan, you're sitting here saying why.
I want the Phillies to go sign Trevor Bauer.
I want anybody to sign Trevor Bauer, not the Yankees.
But I want the Phillies to sign him. That's what I want. The Yankees are not going to sign him no matter what because of Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
But if the Phillies signed him, they'd be complete. You have a number 3 because you got Wheeler as your 1, you got Nola as your 2, and your 3 is what, Ranger? Suarez?
Ranger or Christopher Sanchez and another one.
You put Bauer in that mix, he's a 3.
Yeah.
Right there.
And he's a solid 3, man. I don't understand why he's
Trevor Bauer, I know you're not watching, but if you are, buddy, please.
We have been for you the whole time.
We have been you.
This is 106 episodes, and we have been on your side for all 106. And even if you come out and say, like, fuck the boys at Diamond Deck Discussions, we're still on your side.
Yes, thank you. Absolutely. We will be your agents, and we will contact whoever the fuck we need to get you to sign with any major league team that there is. I don't care if it's for a minimum. Like, we're very persuasive. Like, I've had multiple women date me, and I shouldn't have, or they shouldn't have dated me. I'm just letting you know. Like,
oh gosh,
I've been married once, got divorced, and I'm getting married again to the greatest woman in the world. But she should have never said yes. I'm very persuasive, is what I'm saying. Right? So gosh. Trevor Bauer, hire us as managers, and we will get the deal done. We can convince anybody to do. I'm not saying anything.
I was wondering where you were going there.
But we can convince a lot of people to do some shit. All right? We can convince you to sign. We can convince them to sign you for league minimum. All right, especially at Boston. Just let us do your negotiations, and we'll call it a day. That's the end of my spiel.
All right, yeah.
You got the rest of the episode, bud. You take it.
That's it. I got the whole thing by myself.
Cameras on both of us, but you got it. You got the rest of it.
No, I don't have the rest of it. All right, let's go. Okay, the Yankees continue to be the Yankees. We got a couple trades. We got a signing for the Yankees.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't think we covered the big trade.
With Bellinger?
We didn't cover it because we posted it on Facebook. Okay, let's talk about the signing real quick. We just gave away what the trade is. Or one of the trades. Let's talk about the Trevino trade. That one's kind of quick, kind of easy to talk to. Jose Trevino traded to the Reds. Reds add a veteran catcher. Yankees in return get 34-year-old right-handed power throwing reliever Fernando Cruz and catcher, I think he's a younger catcher. Let me see. Alex Jackson's 28. He only hit 122, which is about what fucking Trevino hit because he's not that good either. Fernando Cruz last year, real quick, went 3-8, had a 4.86 ERA in 69 appearances, including 3 starts. He threw, here's a big number for you. Holy shit, this is impressive right here. According to MLB.com, he had 66 and 2/3 innings. Coach, he had 109 strikeouts in 66 innings. 109 strikeouts. That's a ratio.
That's pretty fucking good.
That's a ratio of 14.72 Ks per 9, which is
walks.
I'll get to that here in just a second. Which is I'm reading from MLB.com as I just said, which is among the major league high of pitchers with at least 50 innings, and his 37.8% strikeout rate ranks third in the MLB. 37.8% strikeout rate. By the way, he's a reliever. Relievers are minimum of 3 guys. If you're striking out 37.8, that's almost 4. In case you can't do math here, this is a guy that he's got a very late debut. Again, he's 34 years old. He's only got 3 years of big league service. God bless you, bud. Whoa. Hold on. You good?
Wrong pipe.
I guess this is my episode the rest of the way, huh?
Wrong pipe, bud.
This is a guy that made his major league debut at 32 years old. I mean, look, if you look at just everybody, dude, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You gonna make it?
Yeah, no, I'll make it.
All right. If you look at his regular numbers that everybody looks at, right? Wins, losses, ERA, strikeouts are very impressive. His strikeout to walk ratio is 3.11, which is really good. I'll take 3 strikeouts to a walk from a reliever. Again, you only face 3 guys essentially. So I'll take those numbers. The number that really stands out, we talked about FIP. We talked about it on our last episode, which is essentially like ERA, but it takes into account what the pitcher's in control of only. So take anything, balls batted, take all that stuff out of play. His current ERA is a 4.86, but again, this is a multitude of factors that plays into ERA. His FIP, all right, is a 3.27, so a 1.5 drop. This is a guy that's got huge upside. He's got big numbers coming out the bullpen. We obviously know he can strike out a ton of dudes. In my opinion, this is and just like the next trade we're going to get to in Cody Bellinger, this is a massive, massive fleece for the Yankees because Jose Trevino is not that good. They played Boston late in the year. Boston stole 9 bases in 1 game versus Jose Trevino. Jose Trevino. He's not that good. He's not good offensively. He's not good as a catcher to keep guys on base. They got to the point where Boston started stealing so many bags, they didn't even throw to the bases anymore.
So this just means that Austin Wells is your Yankees starting catcher.
Yes, Austin Wells is the starter. This kid, let's see,
has
Alex,
the second best mustache.
Yeah,
in all of MLB.
Alex Jackson, who they also got in return, he's 28. He didn't do much. He had 122. That's 17 for 139.
Austin Wells is young.
Yeah, Austin Wells is young. Yeah, Trevino. So he is a platinum glove winner. Awesome. You don't allow pass balls. Whoop de fucking do. But in 73 games last year, you hit 215 with 8 homers and 28 RBIs. Whoop de fucking do. You got a guy out the bullpen that has a 14.72 strikeout ratio per 9 and blows fucking gas.
Yeah.
And a catcher along with that essentially matches Trevino with how terrible they are at the plate.
So Yankees came up
massive fleecing here. Yeah, massive win for the Yankees here. And do you have anything to say about this one? Do you care about this one at all?
Well, I'm just looking at the Reds depth chart. Tyler Stevenson is your starting catcher,
mm-hmm.
and he's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So where does Trevino play in this Reds depth chart?
So he doesn't play. He's a guy whenever Tyler Stevenson says after 21 straight days of catching and they haven't had a scheduled day off there and they have a day off that next day, I want to take the 22nd day off and then I have a 2-day break.
See,
and Trevino catches that game.
See, I don't get that. If you play in the MLB, you just wild hair up your ass, think about it. If you play in the MLB, are you taking a day off?
No, but that's out of my control too. Because if I start,
How?
Hear me out here.
If I say, hey, like I'm good, like I don't want to take a day off here.
Okay,
You're a starter
Yep.
in the MLB.
Yep.
Hey, I'm all right. I'm not taking a day off.
Okay.
Do they not look at you and be like, hey, you're good?
No, they don't. Because here's why. You ready? You come up to me as who would you want to be in the MLB right now? Let me hear.
Who would I want to play for?
No. Who would you want to be? What player? What player would you want to be?
So not a starter.
No. You're a starter because that's the case you're making.
Sorry, not a starting pitcher.
No, what player? Everyday player.
So
162.
position player.
Position player. What player would you want to be? Obviously, Judge, Shohei, Mike Trout. Those are the guys everybody's going to say. But
No.
if you're one that plays 150
Give me
games,
what's this fuck? Is it Brian Reynolds?
okay, you want to be Brian Reynolds. That's fine with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, with Pittsburgh.
With the
yes.
Pirates. That's great. Brian Reynolds, we're going to give you the day off, and we have a scheduled day off tomorrow. Nah, Coach, I'm good. I'm healthy.
We have a scheduled day off tomorrow? Absolutely not.
Okay. All right, hear me out here. I understand that you're healthy and you're good, and you want to play, you're making big bucks, whatever. But you're 0 for your last 21.
Why?
I need you to get into the cage, figure it out with the hitting coach, take 2 days, figure your swing out, and you're back in the lineup.
I'm not over my last 21. I'm actually 22 from my last 21. So
okay, you're asking. No. All right. Next trade that the Yankees got. They fleeced the Cubs in the Cody Bellinger trade.
Dude. Okay,
This
so I
is
don't know
just-
if y'all saw, but I posted on our Facebook.
It's just ridiculous.
Okay, normally Coach Jace posts on our Facebook.
Yeah.
But I posted on our Facebook the scene from Dumb and Dumber when Lloyd Christmas, a.k.a. Jim Carrey, he was the one that traded Petey to the blind kid. Petey is the dead bird that got his head ripped off by the mafia members or whatever the fuck it is. Right? So Petey was the one that Lloyd traded for some gas money. He traded a baseball card, traded this and that, and he said, and Petey. And, he got in trouble. It was, he traded a dead bird to the blind kid, right?
Yep.
The blind kid is the Cubs, and the dead bird is the reliever that the Yankees traded to the Cubs.
I don't understand the deal at all. You trade in Cody Bellinger after you just got Kyle Tucker and told the whole world like you're all in. And then you trade Cody Bellinger plus $5 million of his 26.1 or whatever it's going to be. And 2.5 is supposed to cover his salary this year. And next year he's got an opt-out and it covers that. If he opts in, then it goes toward that deal. Whatever the case is for 2026. And all the Yankees gave up in return is Cody Pettit, who's a right-handed relief pitcher.
Is it Pettit or Pettit?
I don't think it's Pettit.
Well, like Andy Pettit? It was spelled the same way.
Is it really? Pettit has two E's in it? I thought it was T-T-I-T. I think this is Cody Pettit.
Oh, no, that's Poteet. Yeah, that's 100% different.
But I mean, dude, this is so ridiculous on the Mets end, and I get that you're using Cody Bellinger as a complete salary dump here, but you're talking about a guy that's a core of this team for the Cubs. And you got Seiya, you got Dansby, you got Nico, you just traded for Kyle Tucker. Like, what are we doing here? I know Bellinger's been on the block. I got it, but my goodness, you can put Bellinger and Kyle Tucker back to back. Oh my lordy, man! I don't understand this deal. I don't get it. I mean, this guy Cody Petit is 30 years old. He went 3-0 in 5 games for the Yankees last year with a 2.22 ERA. Great, awesome, lovely, wonderful. He has 24 career games under his belt, and his career ERA is a 3.8. This is not what you get for Cody Bellinger.
No.
It's not. It's just not.
No, you don't get a pack of gum and some scratch-offs for Cody Bellinger. You get, you win the lottery for Cody Bellinger.
This dude, it don't make any sense.
And the Cubs just seem to give up. They got Dansby. They got Kyle Tucker. So what else are they going to do? Right? They got rid of Cody Bellinger. They got rid of that contract. Kind of. Because they're
still paying $5 million. Yeah.
But what else are they doing? And speaking of what are they doing, what is Clemson doing in the playoffs? Because
it makes me so happy.
Look,
all 3 teams that I want to get throttled are in the process of getting just absolutely beat down.
Look, I understand, right, that we are a baseball podcast. But let's talk about it. This 12-team playoff
needs fixing.
It needs fixing. Absolutely.
The 12-team. So first off, 12-team playoff, great thing. Thank you, NCAA, for figuring out that we need more than 4 teams getting chosen. But here's the thing about it. Just real quick, because we are a baseball podcast. I don't give a shit about wins and losses anymore. Because you added Texas and Oklahoma to the SEC. You've stacked the ACC. You've stacked the Big Ten. All right? Plain and simple.
Have you stacked the ACC?
Well, kind of. More than what they were.
Clemson and SMU played for the SEC for the ACC title.
Yeah,
they should have neither been in there.
Yeah, you've stacked the Big Ten, adding Oregon, adding USC. You've stacked.
So those are the only 2 conferences that should be in there.
Right, and I put on my personal account. Indiana's coach last night came out and said we don't just beat top 25 teams, we beat the shit out of them. Is what he said.
Which they
on
don't.
Game day, which they don't. They have 0 top 25 wins. They've played 1 top 25 game this year, and they got beat to breaks off of them.
Yes.
And they ended up losing last night. So I put it on there. I said community notes for the win. This is what happens when teams that don't deserve to get in do get in. I don't care about wins and losses. Quality wins, quality losses matter. Strength of schedule matters. Wins versus top 10 and top 25 team matters. Eye test obviously matters. They, as in Indiana and SMU and Clemson, because I'm rooting for all 3 of them to lose, even though I can't stand Notre Dame and I can't fucking stand Texas. I hate pulling for both of those teams, but I hope they embarrass them all, which they've done so far, and Penn State for that matter. They didn't do any of this, and it showed last night, and it showed again today in these first 2 games. Texas is up right now. Penn State beat the brakes off of SMU by 4 touchdowns. Texas is up by 2 touchdowns, about to go into halftime, 3 minutes left. So, yeah, I agree, man. I mean, give me the eye test. Clemson shouldn't be in. Indiana shouldn't be in. SMU shouldn't be in. Boise State is only in because of Genty. I mean, it's...
And Genty should have won the Heisman.
Yeah, he should have won the Heisman.
He should have.
100%. Anyway, back to baseball.
Whoa.
Unless you want to keep talking football, but
I love talking football.
I
really would.
We are kind of on a time limit because I do have to go cook. So,
fuck you.
I got to get ready for tonight.
Okay, so what's next?
Okay, so Yankees trade Trevino. They add Cody Bellinger as well. Oh, Yankees did something else today. They add Paul Goldschmidt, first baseman. We had heard that they were in on maybe Pete, maybe Christian Walker, maybe bringing back Rizzo. Hey, but you got a battery to change. But they go ahead and they add Paul Goldschmidt on a pretty friendly deal. It's 1 year, $12.5 million. He's coming off a very, very down year. This is a guy that has progressively declined over the last few years, unfortunately. Paul Goldschmidt, whenever he was in St. Louis in 2022, He had a 7.7 WAR. 2023 had a 3.4 WAR, and last year only had 1.3 WAR. We have seen the decline coming. In 2022, hit 35 homers. 2023, 25 homers, so a 10-homer drop. 2024 last year, 22, so another 3 home run drop. Average is coming down significantly, 317, 268, 245. This is a guy that was in between a Nolan Arenado and a is it William or Wilson Contreras? This in St. Louis. Which one? Who's the catcher there?
I think it's William. I think Wilson's with the Brew Crew.
One of the Contreras brothers. He was in between hitting in those guys, and this is a guy that, he's not going to have the protection. He's not going to hit 2-hole. He's not going to hit 4-hole behind or in front of Judge. He's probably hitting 6 or 7 after Stanton and after Jazz, depending on where they play. Jazz, I've seen that he can hit leadoff. I've seen that he can hit 5 after Stanton. It just depends on where they hit Jazz here. I don't mind this signing. This is a guy that's a multi-time Gold Glove winner. He's a 4-time Gold Glove winner, 7-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger. He's got MVP under his belt. This is a guy that is, he's going to be 38 in the middle of the year. It's to me, it's a guy you're signing because of his name. This is not the solution you want at first base, which is why you signed him to a 1-year deal.
I told you today. I said I would have rather them re-sign Rizzo.
And I agree. I agree 100%.
Like you sign. Yes, he's 34. Like you sign a 34-year-old Christian Walker. I agree. Rizzo's 35. So I mean, at what point do you say, okay, like, oh, thank you, bud.
You're welcome.
But
I don't want to get yelled at,
Yeah, no, I wouldn't yell at you. I'd give you a stern talking to.
Oh.
But at what point, as a Yankee, do you say, okay, like we just traded for Cody Bellinger, maybe he can play first base?
No, I think Belly goes to center and you move Aaron Judge back to right field.
Well, they already said Aaron Judge moving to right.
Yeah.
They already came out and said that. So you need a center fielder, so therefore you go ahead and you end up doing that. Like that's I don't know. It's crazy to me that they make this signing. Now I hope Christian Walker does do good.
We're not talking Christian Walker yet.
We're not yet. Goldie. I hope Goldschmidt, and I lied earlier. I said I was looking at Walker.
34.
And I said he's 34. Goldschmidt's 37.
Yeah, 37. That's what I say. He's going to be 38 halfway through the year.
He's an old fuck.
Yeah, well.
You don't sign that. Like yes, you sign it, but you sign him to a 1-year deal, which they did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 year, 12.5.
But is he worth 12.5?
And you reset the market next year. I think so. This is how I feel about the signing, and I know a lot of people might disagree, but it happens in sports all the time, in every sport. Baseball, football, basketball. It happens in every sport. Essentially, what the Yankees did was sign a name. Paul Goldschmidt for years has been arguably the best first baseman in the league.
Since he was with
St.
Louis.
Yeah, he's been this, he's been that. It's da-da-da-da. You're signing a name. This is not, again, the Yankees still have question marks at other positions. You could have put, I personally think Ben Rice is going to give you the same output as Paul Goldschmidt will at first base.
And we didn't like Ben Rice.
No, and you can put $12.5 million towards second or third and move Jazz back to second base. Whichever one you want to do. There are guys out there, Gio, who we're going to get to next. Ha-Seong Kim. Re-signed Glaber. You've been in on Bregman. Like, there are guys, you could have put the $12.5 million to somebody else to shore up the infield, especially getting Max Fried. He's a big-time ground ball pitcher. Like, you need the defense in New York this year if you're going to be another World Series contending team. And New York always will be. It's not me saying that they're not going to be. But
somebody in New York will be.
You need it. You need that defense. And I know he's a 4-time Gold Glover. I just said it, but I'd rather my 4-time Gold Glover be at third base and move Jazz back to second because I didn't think Jazz was that good at third. And even if you're fine with Jazz at third, go back and get Glaber. You know he can. He had 278 last year. You know he can perform under the New York lights. Not everybody can do that. Same thing in Boston. Same thing in L.A. Not everybody can perform with that media under those lights with the crowd all over you. And if you take that 0 for 21 approach that I brought up earlier, next 0 for 22, and then you come up for your 23rd at bat, you're going to get booed out of the stadium. And how do you attest to that? Like, you know, I don't mind the signing, but I just highly disagree with this signing. To me, Goldie would have fit better with like a Pittsburgh. Give him a veteran presence that can be the MVP kind of guy. Teach him how to win. Teach him how to lose. He would have been more of a Pittsburgh, more of a Detroit kind of guy for me. Not New York. I don't. They could have put their money in better places, especially seeing his results over the last few years and how much he's declined. You could have put Ben Rice at first base for league minimum and got the same production essentially. Slide Jazz back to second or keep him at third and shore up your infield a little bit more. I don't like this signing for New York. I disagree with it completely. But, yeah, that's my take on it.
Clemson pick 6.
Ooh, Clemson pick 6, but there's a flag. All right, while we see what the flag is, any other thoughts on this?
I don't agree. I mean, you look. Yankees, after missing out on Soto, they had an opportunity to do something big. They had an opportunity to go sign Corbin Burns, opportunity to go sign
Max Fried, which they did.
Yeah, they signed Fried, which it's great. It's fine. But they had an opportunity to go build up that $700 million that they were planning on spending. They could have gone and divided it up and spent it so many other places.
What was the call?
Do not know.
Oh, yeah, that's not Quinn Ewer's fault. Wow.
It was not pass interference.
Definitely wasn't pass interference.
I hate the fact right there that that's an incomplete pass.
No, I hate the fact that it's a interception.
It's an interception on the quarterback.
They have to come up with another stat for something on the receiver that doesn't hit the quarterback stats.
They have to. If it's a complete drop, they have to.
Oh, it's a block in the back right there. Blindside block.
But it was after the interception.
Yeah. So they'll get the ball, but it's not a touchdown anymore. You get the ball, 15-yard penalty. All right.
That was a good one. That was a real good one.
It sounded like it was a good one. All right. Next. Or are you good? Or you want to keep going?
No. Next.
All right, you good? All right, next, the A's, the ABC Athletic Baseball Club, keeps making moves. They go out and get third baseman Gio Urshela.
I'm so excited about that.
I love this deal so much. And this is not finalized. We don't know the terms yet. We haven't got years, numbers. We researched right before we started. Hadn't got none of that yet. So this is something that can still be up in the air, whether this is finalized or not. But this is a guy who's had a 9-year career. He's played for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different teams. The A's will be his 8th different team in 10 years. But this is a guy who, let's see what his career numbers are.
I'm sorry. What did you just say? 8th different team in 3 years?
10 years.
In
8th
10
in
years.
10 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah, 8th in 10 years. Yeah. He went to New York, then Cleveland, Minnesota, Detroit, L.A., Atlanta, Toronto, now the A's.
Dude's been thrown around like a Central Paris whore.
And honestly, he's really not that bad of a player. I mean,
and I've been with a couple of those. What, bud? Dude, we love them.
I love you, bud. That's all.
I love you. But the Central Paris whores they're very nice people.
Anyway, Gio Urshela, his 162 game average. He's a 2-WAR player. He averages a 273 over 162, 273 or 273 batting average, 15 homers. Plays a pretty good third base for you. Let me look up third base stats here. Gio. should have had this up already, but I didn't.
I don't have anything up. So
yeah, I know. You're just sitting back relaxing. I'm doing all the grunt work here.
I think we just have an episode to where we don't look we don't even have our computers pulled up.
We've done that before, and you loved it.
It's a great episode.
2024, he mixed between. Wow, he did everything. Third base, first base, shortstop, DH. All of 2024 combined, he has a 972 fielding percentage. So, look, this is a guy who plays 110 games. You can get a Gio Urshela that is an absolute dog like he was in 2023 when he played for the Angels, and nobody talked about him when he hit 299 with only 2 homers. Only played about half the year, a little bit less than half the year. The year before that, he hit 285 with Twins. Man, I forgot he played with the Twins. He was a 3-WAR player, hit 285, hit 13 homers. Like, give me this guy all day long. I can't wait to see what the terms of this contract are.
Let me ask you this: would you rather him or Bregman?
Oh, Bregman, 100%.
You think?
Yeah, 100%.
Who has better numbers?
I don't care who has better numbers.
You'd rather Bregman?
Eye test tells me Bregman. He's one of the better third basemen in the league that will move to second base if you want him to. He's a middle of the order bat that's going to give you 25 homers, not 12
it's
or
because
9.
He's Jewish. Bregman's Jewish. It's because
that's not why, but okay, if he is, great. I don't fucking know.
I'm just messing. I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, no, give me Bregman. I mean, he'd been there with the Astros, with the team that tried to cut payroll but still wins. They've been to the playoffs however many years in a row. They've run the division however many years in a row. Been to a World Series.
Look,
however many years got a World Series. Like,
we love Bregman here.
He's 31 compared to 33 with Gio.
Yes.
Like, I'm taking Bregman 100% all day, every day. Nobody can convince me.
I'm taking him too. I really wish that Bregman would come back to traction and I get a chance to, go see him. Just hit BP in the cage or whatever. Dad got to do that. Dad got to throw to him. And I was
solid.
Like, he told me that 3 years after the fact. But that was whenever Bregman was in college.
Yep.
And I was in the Navy. I came home. Dad told me a story. And, I love those stories. But also, I want to live those stories.
Right.
So, I wish Bregman would come back to Baton Rouge, for off-season to go train at traction or go do something. You know what I mean? I'd love that.
Yeah.
And we love Bregman.
Yeah, we love Bregman.
That's the moral of the story. We love Bregman.
Yep. Fact.
But Gio, great sign for the A's.
Great signing for the A's.
The A's, we did not expect anything from this offseason.
This is the New York Yankees of the West Coast. You got Miguel Andujar. You got Gio. You signed Luis Severino. This is the ABY.
Do you think they're
Athletic Baseball Yankees?
Okay, so what place do they come?
No, not really.
What place do they come in the division?
I don't know. I need to see more to happen here.
Fourth.
I can't decide yet.
They sign all that shit to come in fourth place in that division.
Hey, but they had to because the luxury tax threshold. They had to get above $100 million in payroll.
I did see something. I didn't really look into it, so I don't know how true it is. But it said that some teams are paying a different luxury tax than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you look into that?
Yeah. I got it right here for you if you want to know what it is.
I kind of do.
All right. So
kind of curious.
All right. On the phone right here. So, let's say the Astros, for example.
All right. I'm done. Like I said, I'm kind of curious.
Oh, kind of curious. All right. Well, I'll explain to you.
Go ahead, bud.
Off the record.
No.
Well, no, we are on a time crunch. So we got a couple other things to get to.
I was just fucking with you.
I know, but we do have a few other things to get to.
Okay. Let's get to it.
All right. We'll explain. We'll put that on the list. Luxury tax payments.
Because there's topic one. There's other teams that are paying a different.
Yeah, they pay a different amount depending on your revenue sharing and your salary and all that stuff.
What else we got?
We'll talk about it. Okay. Speaking of that division, what will they do in that division? I don't know, but no, the A's are not in that division.
What division?
with the Astros. That's the Angels. And the
The A's. No. A's are in that division with the Angels.
Mariners, Rangers, and Astros. Okay,
Yes.
A's are in that division. I'm not crazy. Speaking of that division,
You don't know baseball.
I clearly don't. The Astros have done a few things. The Astros tried to trade for Nolan Arenado. He said, no, thank you. I'm blocking that trade. He has no trade clause.
This right here is holy shit. Like, because Nolan had X amount of teams. I think it was 6 teams.
6 teams, yep.
Astros were a part of that 6 teams?
No, Astros were not part of the 6, no.
So why the fuck are the 8 or the Cardinals even trying?
No. Okay, so you can so it's kind of goofy the way it all works, right? Like you can try to do some things to where they can cover a certain amount of salary, which we saw. I think it was like the number was like $40 million over the 3 years that the Cardinals were going to cover. Essentially, Nolan could have walked up to the Astros and said, hey, look, they're going to cover $40 million. That means $40 million that you saved. Why don't you put 2 more years on my deal at $20 million a year to make up for the 40? And he could have got 5 years guaranteed instead of the 3 that he's guaranteed. So there's a lot of determining factors on why he said no. This is also a team that you're not re-signing Bregman, clearly. You pivoted to a guy we're about to get to in Christian Walker, but that was after Arenado said no, right? You had Kyle Tucker that you traded already. So where was this team going in Nolan Arenado's mind? You traded Kyle Tucker. You're not bringing back Bregman. What do you have that's going to make you competitive to where I'm getting on the back end of my career and I can go with a team for 3 more years and say we got a shot to win a World Series?
But also, you could have offered the fucking house.
You could have.
And Nolan could have still said no.
But a guy like Nolan Arenado, so whatever this trade was, which we have no idea the details yet of what it was, whatever the trade was agreed on. And then the Cardinals went to Nolan Arenado and said, hey, we want to trade you to the Astros. We have an agreement in place. Do you accept the deal to the Astros? And he said no. And so essentially the deal falls off.
He said no, I don't want to bang on trash cans.
Which is wrong from any organization, because if you know a player has no trade clause, you should walk up to that player and say, hey, if we try to trade you to the Astros, would you say yes or would you say no? And if the player says no, why even have the conversation with? Why call the Astros or call any team? Make a deal that both teams agree on and then have to go to the player that has the no trade clause.
Yeah.
And say, hey, do you accept this trade? And he says no, and all of a sudden you shut the whole thing down. It makes no sense. But
zero.
So they agree to this trade. Nolan Arenado blocks it. Again, then a few hours later is what it felt like they flipped a coin and said, okay, Nolan's out. We got Esoc at third base. We got to find a first baseman, because remember earlier this year, Nolan said, oh, he's willing to move to first base if that's what it took to be on a contending team.
Which would suck, because I love watching him play third.
He was a fucking, 10-time Gold Glover or some shit like that. The only time he hadn't won it was this past year.
It's ridiculous.
But the Astros then say, okay, Nolan and his $27 million are out, or 21 or 26, whatever the hell it was. He's out. We got a third baseman. Let's go ahead and sign a first baseman. And boom, they go out. 3 years, $60 million deal to Christian Walker of the Arizona Diamondbacks. 34.
I love it. I love Houston paying this money to a guy who deserves it.
Yep.
Now, what he does these next 3 years, are there any opt-outs? No?
I didn't see that there were opt-outs. No,
I did not see either. That. But still, like, this is a great deal for Houston. I just hope he doesn't turn into...
Jeez, bud. You good?
No, I still got plenty more in me. I hope it doesn't turn into...
We're almost done. Come on, you can get it.
Jose Abreu.
Yeah, I hope not.
Who was a great pickup for Houston.
Mm-hmm. Dude, you are struggling.
Dude, I am so bad right now. Jesus Christ. Okay. Here we go. Jose Abreu was such a good pickup for Houston that nobody questioned it. Everybody was like, okay, like this is a great pickup. Like, I hope he does well, this and that. And then he hit like 150, and they released him. Like they sent him down, then released him. Like it was not good at all.
No,
that's one thing I hope Christian Walker does not turn into. And I hope he does so well over there that they re-sign him for another 5. Like, which won't happen, but still, like he's 34 years old. He has 3 years, and let him go his 3 years, and then they sign him for 2 more years at $40 million. Keep paying him $20 million a year, and call it a day.
The best thing that the Astros can do is go Jeremy Pena 1, Jose Altuve 2, Christian Walker 3, Yordan Alvarez 4. And you protect Walker. In the front of him, you protect him with Jose, and behind him, you protect him with Yordan, to where teams have to pitch to him.
Yep.
And what does that mean? You're going to get majority pitches in the zone. I'm not going to say fastballs because the game's changed so much that there's no such thing as a fastball count anymore in Major League Baseball. We see more 2-0 sweepers than we've ever seen, ever.
He'll go 270 with 35 home runs.
But you get more pitches in the zone because if Altuve gets a base hit and now you got Walker up and you feel more confident pitching to a guy that's a career 250 hitter rather than Yordan, you're throwing more balls in the zone so that way Yordan's not coming up with first and second and speed with Altuve on second.
Yep.
So Walker's going to get more pitchers to hit here. I agree with you. I see I see a big year from Christian Walker. I'm not saying the next 3 years, but this year I see a big year from Christian Walker.
And that's the thing. A big year with Christian Walker is 270 with 35 home runs.
Yep.
That's it.
That's a big year for anybody though. So yeah, Astros making moves. They miss out on Arenado, but then turn and sign Christian Walker just a few hours later. Coach, just one last thing I want to touch on before we close it out here. I know we're kind of rushed on time here because I got to get back home and start cooking and get everything ready. But the game lost a player today, and a player that's way too soon. He's a 10-time All-Star. This is according to Fox Sports MLB right here. 10-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, all-time stolen base leader. We've talked about this. I don't think that record will ever be broken. All-time runs scored leader. He's an MVP, 3-time Silver Slugger, and he is a first-ballot Hall of Famer. Coach, the game lost Ricky Henderson today. Far too young. I think you said, 65?
65, yes.
65 years old. Ricky Henderson has passed away. I'm not sure what it was. I didn't. We were playing golf when we got this notification and came straight here to start recording.
The only thing that came out was that he passed. Gone too soon. It gets me thinking because, like my dad, your dad.
Yep.
Like they're approaching 60.
Yep.
And just get yourself checked out. Get yourself, heart conditions, this and that. Like my dad's had heart surgery, and he's probably gonna have to have another one, pretty soon. But just I don't know. Just make sure that you have yourself checked out as best as you can. It sucks.
Yeah.
Ricky Henderson, his record will never be broken.
I don't think
and has never been tainted either.
Yeah.
Like he's not Pete Rose, right? Pete Rose's hit record has been tainted according to MLB. Whatever. He fucking bet on it, but he still had 4,000 fucking hits.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. Ricky Henderson's stolen base record will never be fucking broken, and will never have a chance to. So with that being said, shout out to Ricky. Like you gave us highlights for a generation. You holding up a base that you stole to break the record, right? And then according to that, like I called Dad earlier today. Like we were on 18 green or 18
T-box.
T-box.
Yep.
I called Dad. I said, hey, just let you know Ricky Henderson died today. He said, man, you need to look at his Mexican League records.
Really?
He left MLB. Like, when he retired, he went to go play in the Mexican League for a little bit. And apparently had more stolen bases.
Wow.
Like, and played till he was like 50.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. 100%. No doubt.
Like, dude, he was so incredible. Ran at least a 4.2.
Yeah, very fast.
Very fast. So, Ricky, we appreciate you. We appreciate everything you did for baseball.
Yep.
It's been incredible.
Yep.
So, thank you so much.
Well, with that, Coach, why don't you go ahead and take us out, and then we can get ready for tonight.
Oh, so I will. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Diamond Deck Discussions. It's been a great episode, even though it was a quick one. And this is just incredible life to live. Just doing this for a hobby.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
If anybody
Until somebody
out there
pays
wants to sponsor us, y'all go ahead. We're listening. We're open to all sponsors.
I just know I burp a lot. We burp a lot. We laugh a lot. We watch college football, so if you have any questions about that, holla at us. If you have any questions about college baseball that's coming up, LSU is just looking so fucking good. I cannot wait to talk about that.
Yep.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. This has been Diamond Deck Discussions Unfiltered.